How we doing? How we diddling? It's Thursday? Thursday the 3rd of June, and you might be wondering, like, where's Chris going? He's not wearing his work uniform. What's going on? Having a quick trip to the doctors is where I'm going. A quick trip to go and see the doctor. Hello, mate. How's it going? Just want to say happy birthday to my mum. I did speak to her this morning, but I didn't wish her happy birthday on account it was me having a bit of a head fart. Unclean. And I thought I was a day behind, so happy birthday, mum. So what's going on today? So today I'm on my way down to the GP so I can, good morning, so I can have him have a look at my foot, my left foot, so it shouldn't affect me driving. I've got a bit of a numbness and a bit of a coldness in my foot, but we'll let that slide for now. I was driving a bus yesterday, and I was driving it in service for the first time in 15 months is what I was doing. And what's it like driving a bus after 15 months? Well, driving an empty bus after 15 months is strange, and you get used to that after about 5 or 10 minutes, because you think you're driving something quite large, and then you do it again and you're more comfortable with it, you know. You do it again and it's like it never went away, and then you start thinking to yourself, crap, I have to deal with people. That's what it is. I've got to deal with people. And lo and behold, yesterday was my first day in service on a full duty on my beloved Route 12. And I can't lie, I actually had a really good shift. I really did. I'm on lates this week, so you know, starting at around about 20 to 3 and finishing at about 20 past 10. So it's not a particularly long shift. It's manageable. The problem I have with this specific duty though is the first half is literally an hour from Camberwell to Dulwich to Camberwell. That's it. And then 5 trips afterwards. I mean, it's not bad, but the only problem I have with driving yesterday was my back. You know, I had no problem with people. Both buses that I had were relatively okay, I'll give them that. You know, I mean, I make sure that I keep the inside of that cab as clean as possible. I wipe it down when I get in. I even give it a wipe for the next driver before he or she get in it. So yeah, you know, it's all right. It was decent. It was a decent drive. I tell you what is really weird though is the fact that when you stop on Regent Street currently, you stop on Regent Street because it's all been changed on Regent Street. If you know the area, it's been taken down to 1 lane of traffic in either direction. And what's weird about that is if you stop at a bus stop, everything behind you has to stop. There's no ums and ahs about it. You have to stop. So if you're running early and it ain't your fault, for example, because you're trying to maintain headway with the bus in front, and you may have a good headway with the bus in front, 5 bars, even 6, but if you're still running early because of that, and the controller then says to you, yeah, drive, can you drop it back for 3 minutes, please? You can't. You just can't. It is literally an impossibility. If you stop on Regent Street, it is going to cause absolute chaos and carnage for traffic. It's not happening. It's not happening. But after I got my first half done. You know, I mean, it was a case of super best behaviour with driving. I mean, obviously when you haven't driven for a while with people on your bus, you know, it's like everything is like exam perfect, right? And then after you get into your second half, don't get me wrong, you still keep it exam perfect. I mean, you know, you have to as a bus driver. You don't start getting into bad habits. But what I'm saying is, you relax. You see, I'm not sitting there in that chair or on that chair with looking it like I've got a pole up my arse, which it did look like a bit like I've got a pole up my arse most of the time because my back was absolutely killing me. But yeah, you just start relaxing a little bit. You know, you just find your flow, and that's what any bus driver will tell you this, right? When you're driving a bus, you have to have a good flow. You know, it's like you're pulling away from a bus stop, really, really smooth, you know, and then pulling in at the next one, or even stopping at lights. It should be seamless. It should literally just, as I said, it should flow. You shouldn't have any of that janky, stop, start. See? And admittedly, sometimes that is unavoidable because the brakes on some buses are really snatchy. But that's only some. And to be honest with you, most new buses, and most buses are new nowadays, they don't have that snatchy grabbiness on the brakes. So having that kind of level of braking ability nice and smooth is down to the driver now. It's not a case of, you know, oh, the bus was snatchy. Some are, but of the vast majority are not. So you have to have that flow. You see, then it all comes back to you as well. It's like, you know, you're stopping at bus stops with that perfect gap. That perfect gap. You see, you're not like you need a bridge to get from the bus to the curb. No. I'm talking about that gap. We all know what I'm talking about. Where if I was to lower the bus, it would be an absolute joy and minimal effort to get on that bus. You know, you start doing that once and twice and you start getting used to it. You know, that pulling up distance, that pulling up speed. And then you just start doing it as part of being its second nature. And that's what I found yesterday, is it all came back to me very, very, very quickly. And it's just strange because I've never not worked for that long, ever. I mean, obviously I was still employed, being furloughed, right? But since the age of 15, that is the longest I have never actually worked. You know, like been actually told to stay at home. Thank you. So obviously, I think being at home threw me out of my comfort zone a bit because I've always been a man for work. I like working. I like having the routine. I like knowing that I've grafted for what I get. You know, whether it's driving a bus or being a handyman, it doesn't matter. As long as I've worked for it, I know I've done that. So being paid for staying at home essentially was strange, and for so long as well. And then there's people out there that are still furloughed, in whatever job they do, and I feel for them, I really do. But going back into driving a bus, it's weird because you would expect it to be a lot longer on the process of getting you back into the swing of things, whether it's you know, driving ability and, you know, prep work for this, that and the other. And it's just, I expected them to be on it a little bit more, but the thing is, I got lucky because the examiner or the instructor I was with for my refresher was literally just me and he. I was expecting there to be about 3 or 4 other people, and there weren't. So it was literally just me and the instructor, which is perfect really, because that gave me all of the time to get back into the swing of driving the bus. And like I said, driving the bus isn't so much the problem. I was more apprehensive about people. But I was surprised actually. I was surprised. I'd actually hesitate. I'd say impressed, because the reason why I was impressed was because on these Boris buses, right, there used to be Oyster Readers, 1 at the front and 3 down the saloon. They're not there anymore. I didn't realise this. So of course, I've opened the rear doors to let people off, and I'm not seeing people jump on the back. I thought, oh, that's strange. Why are they not jumping on the back? So I've closed the rear doors and I've opened the front door as per procedure, and everyone started getting on the front and paying their bus fare. I was shocked. I was actually shocked. People actually pay their bus fare. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there were still some people that pushed their luck. And you know what? I'm not going to bother stressing myself over people who don't want to pay their fare. If they get caught, that's 100% down to them. Okay, I'm not going to be stressing over people paying their bus fare. I genuinely don't care. And I actually didn't get to a situation yesterday where I was uncomfortable with the amount of people on the bus. There's new notices on the bus as well, on the MDT for the PA system. There's one that is for social distancing, and it says something along the lines of, please respect social distancing, don't sit on each other's laps, and respect each other's space, social distancing, like that. Right, it doesn't actually say that. I never pressed the button. Right, but there was another one for face coverings, and it goes along the lines of wearing a face covering on London transport has to be done basically. I can't remember what it says. It says you must wear a face covering on London buses unless exempt. Right, which is fair enough. If you're exempt, you don't have to wear it. And then it says, I thought this is a little bit extreme. British Transport Police patrol these routes on a regular basis. Really? Is that a threat? Is that a threat? But no, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I've got to say, I did enjoy yesterday. I did enjoy driving up and down in my beloved Route 12. I've got the same shift today, and I'm absolutely cream crackered. I'm tired. I didn't get home till about, nearly midnight last night. Well, I didn't get to sleep till gone midnight actually. I got home at around about 11:30. But either way, so when I come out of the doctor's and I go home, I'm going to have a nap for a couple of hours. Then I'm going to get myself ready for work, and then it's all good. It's all good. The life of a bus driver, eh? Anyway, let me read some of these comments, because people have been putting up with my dulcet tones and I've not read any comments. So, hello, Chris. Morning, Chris. It's Transport Hub. Buses in Yorkshire. Hi, Chris. Hi to you too. Happy birthday to your mum. Cheers for that. Really appreciate that. Durham bus driver. It's difficult. I actually can't see much. It's really bright with the sun's in front of me and I haven't got my glasses. Paul's Daily Chat says, hi Chris, I'll keep an eye out for you in case you want to get on the bus. The worst thing is having a small first half, then a monster second half. Yes, I agree. Yesterday I had 2 breaks at 35 and 32 minutes respectively, and 3 stints of 2-hour driving is the worst ones. Yep, especially on the hybrids and electrics are smoother. GL, you're gonna need it. Good luck. Aha. Chris, I know you're not reading chat, but that's right about passenger windows being blocked open. Only, do you know what? I didn't notice it. I didn't notice the windows being blocked open. I didn't touch the windows. I noticed that my windows on my bus were open, but I didn't notice them blocked open. So I'll have a look. I mean, them being open in this weather isn't the worst thing in the world. There's one thing that is concerning me though, and people can say I'm moaning, I don't really care, is the air conditioning system on a Routemaster, on an LT, is a ducting system. And I've spoken about this a few times over the years, but the AC system on an LT pumps and sucks air from the top of the bus down, no, sorry, excuse me, the bottom of the lower deck. It pumps it out, then it sucks it back in through the ducting system, and then it pumps it out for the top, and then it sucks it back in again. Then all the leftover crap gets pumped through to the driver. So I basically get to breathe in everyone's coughs and farts. Now, the second bus I had yesterday, the air conditioning was working, but I didn't have the fan on and I had the vents closed. So I didn't have any of that cool air blowing on my face because I didn't want other people's breath blowing in my direction. You know, with all the best will in the world of people wearing masks and God knows what, I just don't feel, I mean, if TfL, when they had these buses made by right, you know, in Ireland, if they'd actually paid the extra money and all of those buses had their own individual compressors for the AC, which means the driver had their own closed loop. Have a good one. You too. And the driver had his own closed loop for air conditioning. Oh, I'd be all over that. You know, I'd have the window closed, air conditioning on, and that would be me, literally bus driver popsicle in the middle of summer. Lovely, but no, can't do that. I have to sweat like a whore in a church. Other than that, go on, I'll let everyone go. Wish everyone has an absolutely blinding day. Take it easy. Much love. Mwah.